Okay, so we're prepping for a day sail today. I thought I'd do a little bit about how we get ready for our day. So right here we have a hearty breakfast cooking. We have some hard-boiled eggs, high protein, hydrating with lots of liquids. This happens to be a green tea, iced tea. Getting my navionics set up on the tablet so we can track our route, and it seems like every time I use navionics I need to do an update, so that's what I was doing. I think it's done. Getting my GoPro charged up, and coffee, the all-important coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah. We've got waters ready there, and those are some tortilla chips back there that our neighbors brought over from a restaurant, so we'll bring them out for you, Mike.
Sweet.
Yeah, we found out when we went out with our daughter Louise a couple of weeks ago. We went out before breakfast and she was feeling a little seasick, and I actually wasn't feeling that great either, so we make a point of eating something before we go. While the eggs are cooling off, I'm going to get the coolers packed. This one I use for beverages, waters, and our food, and all the other miscellaneous crap, including my photo equipment. So we got rotisserie chicken, and this is some green verde salsa. And before you head out, make sure you make the cheesecake for the dinner party tonight over at Gloria's. So yeah, this is a low-carb cheesecake. Can't wait. So I did that last night, so we don't have to rush to get back and get ready. Oh, another thing. Oh, that's not it. Oh, well, I think, oh, I do have one. Key lime LaCroix.
Oh yeah.
And mango LaCroix water. So I like these. Mike's not a big fan, but more for me. So when we go out on the boat, I try not to use a whole lot of baggies and things like that, and try to use reusable stuff so it doesn't go overboard. Fly up, fly off out of the cockpit and overboard. Stick these in here because I have room. And I'm charging up the tablet. This morning it's been charging since 6 o'clock, and it's now almost 10 o'clock a.m. and it's still only at 42%. When I go into the menu and hit update all, it'll check for updates. I've already done it, so I'm hoping there's not another update. And so now my maps are updated. But I've noticed that it runs a lot slower if I don't update it, and also why not have the most up-to-date maps, right? Time for some eggs.
Eggs.
We don't have to. One of the other things that we do to prep for a day sail, or any sail for that matter, is check the weather. And earlier, the clouds were just fine and it was sunny, but now I see some clouds rolling in and looks fine over there, but over there is where the ocean is, so I'm a little concerned. So I'm going to check the forecast again. So we're out here. Mike's opening up the cabin, and yeah, we got a bit of cloud that's out there, but we're hoping for the best. All right. So one of the things you must do every time we go out is check the raw water filter. So that's what Mike's gonna do, and it's right there. And check the motor. So I got to move out of the way so he can get this.
And what I do is grab a flashlight, which back up a little bit, and shine it through it. It kind of gives you a view of what's in it.
That's actually a good idea. I didn't realize you did that. See, I'm learning along with everybody else.
Lift this.
There's the heart of our baby.
Gotta keep the heartbeat. So the raw water is on. I was working on it yesterday, so I did turn it off.
Okay. So the lever is up. That goes with the
pipe.
Tubing pipe.
That means it's on.
Yeah.
When it's like this, it goes across, it's off. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty clean in there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see it on the video.
And then
yeah, this is our rate core filter.
I did let it drain a little bit the other day, so it's pretty clean. It's a little bit of sediment at the bottom, but every once in a while I replace that. And I usually put these little things underneath to show if there's any drips. So if I see any drips, then I know that there's something going on. I check the water, you check the oil, and then I just check the level of the oil. Check the belt tension. This one says it shouldn't deflect more than 1/2 inch, which that's about 1/2 inch. So, and then check the tranny fluid, which I just checked a little while ago. So we're good there. So our fridge doesn't work, so we keep stuff in the cooler. But I'll stick that in there. Cooler food. And after I do that, I'm right here with this stuff. So I grabbed the radio. And we got this radio recently. We'll actually do a little instruction thing on this because I still need to really learn how to use it. So power it on. We did get an MMSI number recently, so we were able to program that in here. So I just turn on, grab one of these. I'm the safety girl. And it's just 2 of us. Oh, I grabbed that as well. So
is that Bob?
We got Bob, the cushion, and our life jackets. And this stuff, I'll grab the rest of the stuff in a minute. I'll take these off. And get the steering wheel. So Mike and I have kind of divided our jobs up, and so we just know what needs to be done. I love this collapsible steering wheel. It's really nice. All right, along with other safety equipment that we have a tether. We keep that right here. And I'll show you that setup in just a bit. And our daughter used to be a whitewater rafting guide. So she had this throw rope. She's no longer a guide, so she didn't need it. So she gave it to us. I grabbed that. All important sailing gloves. Since it's just the 2 of us, Mike's probably going to be handling some lines, so I'll grab his. Do you like these? Okay.
And you did open the hatch.
I know.
Earlier to get some airflow in here.
Yeah, I'll make sure we close those before we
You'll see them.
Get underway.
Yeah.
All right, so I hooked this one here.
And what is this?
This is the throw rope.
Okay.
And our tether, I found a better way to do it. So I'm hooking the long one on this rail out here, this one inside here so we can get to it. So when we need to hook ourselves up, we just come over here, grab this while you're standing here or sitting here, hook that to your life vest and unhook that. You're already connected to the boat. So a couple times Mike went out, wasn't really connected to the boat as we went up on the deck. So I don't want to do that again. All right, might as well prep this line while I'm here. This is our furling line for the jib. Just take that off here, that through there, and throw it in here for now. The waters go back here.
So that line's going to run. And let the jib out.
Yay, it fits. Okay, you don't really need this.
The all important water.
Yes, drink lots of water while you're out. Dehydration and empty stomach are 2 bad combinations for being out there on the choppy sea, which we will have today.
You want help?
It's easier to take off than to put on.
You're just opening the front window.
Sunglasses on. Alright, now we've got this bungee cord. Just wrap around this one.
There's our sail.
Now I'm going to take the halyard that's shackled there and put it up onto the sail. Okay, so we've got ours labeled, most of them anyway. It's the main halyard, so I want that to be released so when I go up there, or when I go here actually, just grab some slack so that I don't lose the thing. Okay. Now I have to make sure I go between the lazy jacks. Ouch.
Always get bruises.
As I'm doing this, watch it. Have it on there tight. All right, and just put some, get rid of the slack on the halyard, just enough. And I lock it down. So part of getting ready to go out on a day sail or any sail is checking all the lines, and I just noticed this one is frayed quite badly. It's the lazy jack, so it's basically holding the sail inside the boom area. So what's your plan to reinforce the lazy jack there?
Hope for the best. I'm just doing a double half hitch. And triple it.
Mike is going over on the dock and turning it off and disconnecting it from there. He actually disconnects it from there because it's a lot easier.
If you guys see any room for improvement on any techniques that we've done, please let us know. We're always learning, always willing to learn.
Which is stored in this locker.
Go ahead and do this first one.
And he's grabbing the key. They kind of need a key. So we just grab the key.
That's probably a bad idea.
Yeah. And once again, checking out the weather. We got some billowing clouds there. And on the other side, I've got a really sky that's getting really dark. So I'm gonna look at the weather radar on my phone in a minute. All right, so next we disconnect, well, after we disconnect the shore power, we flip the
Voltage.
voltage
The AC,
to,
the shore power to off.
yeah.
Actually, normally I do this before I unplug it. Flip it off and go do what we did out there with the shore power. Then over here, we start flipping on what we need. We always leave the USB because it charges one of our VHF radios. We leave the cabin lights. I leave the switch on in case we come in here at night and flip them on. So it's not drawing any power while there's no lights on. And I leave the water pump on so that we use it. So again, we're all at the dock, we're always on shore power, so we're not really wasting any battery energy. Right. So for now, what I do is I flip the nav comm on, which is our navigation up at the binnacle. Flip the stereo on if we want to listen to it.
Other part of our prep work is checking the engine hours. We do have a fuel gauge, but we were concerned with all the electrical problems that we had that may not be 100% accurate, so we make sure we check the engine hours each time we go in and out. And we write down the engine hours in our log.
As we go, we keep track of the date, time, engine hours, start and finish, whatever winds and seas we have, whatever course we run, and any comments. And I've been tracking comments like if something breaks or if we learn something, a technique at the dock. I put them.
Comment for now is the lazy jack needs to be replaced. And you did a workaround for now. We are going to start the engine now.
So first thing I do is put the key, make sure I put it in all the way. I don't turn it on yet. We have a kill switch, so I make sure the kill switch is disengaged. Make sure it's in slow speed for the idle, and make sure it's in neutral. So ours just happens to have two different shifters. So it's in neutral. That's down. Our key, if we turn it halfway, it does not fire the
glow plug.
Glow plugs, thank you. So if I just do this, it sits there and it'll beep at us. So that's a one turn. Second turn, it's firing the glow plugs, and I usually do it for about 20 seconds, and this is warm out, I shouldn't need all that. And don't know if you can hear it, but you can kind of hear it clicking down there. That's the fuel pump clicking, as well as the glow plugs warming up. Fires up our diesel. So interesting. I didn't realize that diesels didn't have spark plugs.
Yeah. They
just run on combustion. So anyway, so now that's probably about the 20 seconds. I let it go. I fire it up. It fires right up. It stops beeping. Check all the gauges. I'll check the temperature in a few minutes, make sure it doesn't go too high. First thing I do is lean overboard, make sure there's water coming out. There is. Make sure that the raw water pump is actually pumping and that the valve is open. So now that we got the engine warming up, and I'll keep an eye on these gauges later. This is the first line I take off. So we've still got 3 lines holding us.
And we've got wind from the
south, I believe.
East, actually.
Well, in the canal here, it's probably...
This is the direction of east.
So it tends to blow this boat backwards. It almost always comes from the east. Yeah. So this line here is really not adding much. So what I'll do... Got a bowline knot here, so it's adjustable. If you look out there, we've got sliders on the pilings. That's really convenient because it allows the boat to go up and down with the tide and not have to readjust our dock lines. So we set them for one setting all the time and keep them a little bit tighter than normal, so the boat just kind of goes up and down and not bounce around as much as a lot of the other boats do. So next thing I do, I've got it free. I grab the boat hook and I set this out here on top of the slider and let it sit for our trip back. Now this red line, this is our key to successful docking. We put this here so when we come in, Barb will grab this line and hook it to the cleat on the side of our boat as we go by, and that becomes our spring line.
Mike just closed the hatch. That is something we do before we get to this point, but we've been distracted by doing these videos. Also, we have 3 knots of wind speed coming from the east to southeast. So, yeah, we should be good.
Let loose. This is the one that'll hold us to the dock the longest.
Yeah.
As soon as the nose of the boat, the nose actually crosses the piling and gets out into the canal, then I can throw it aboard and get some gas.
Throw it aboard? Throw it on the dock.
Onto the dock.
Yeah, so this is the last one to go off. It's kind of like a spring line that springs us out.
Yeah, holds us
away from that piling over there on the port side of the bow. Okay, so before we actually take off, we put our life jackets on.
Gear up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're both good swimmers, but the ocean is much more powerful than we are.
Gear up.
Okay, so we also get the navionics going. This is more just for tracking our routes right now to see how far out we go and all that. So I need to get that set up. And it keeps flipping around. So I need 2 hands for this. Okay, got it going. Sorry for the engine noise. It's a little bit loud. We're going under the bridge now. We're keeping an eye on the weather because the clouds are looking pretty ominous, and so according to the forecast, it's not supposed to do anything for the next few hours, so I'm hoping it's correct, and we'll just see what happens. The ICW is pretty flat, and there's nobody out, really. Well, I'm still looking at the weather. Mike's not concerned at all, but yeah, I know we need some experience in less than ideal conditions, but winds are supposed to be light. What are they now? We have 10 knots of wind. It's kind of comforting to see another sailboat go out. So maybe they're more experienced than us and know that it's going to be okay weather. We made it back in time before the storms. Yeah. Sun came out. It looks pretty. Yeah. So we made it back in before the storms hit, and we ended up coming back in more because I wasn't feeling well. I think maybe I was a bit dehydrated and maybe a bit seasick too. The seas were 3 to 4 foot swells, and it was very choppy out there. They were short period, I think 5 seconds. So it was a little much, but I might have been dehydrated as well. I think that I didn't drink enough water this morning. Here I even talked about avoiding seasickness, and because we were so concentrating on what we were doing, I kind of overlooked actually doing it. I said it, but I didn't do it. So anyway, lesson learned again. We have lots of lessons to learn.